Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about how 2K leaked out of position here in NBA 2K25, my team, and also how I expect this to drop the market pretty significantly with the cards that are likely coming with it. Does look as though Invincible LeBron and a probably 100 overall Scottie Pippen are both coming in this out of position drop. That's my guess. It could theoretically be Invincible Scottie Pippen and 100 overall Bron. That would shock me. 2K knows that Bron is that type of name, the type of card that they put and people just buy packs chasing the off chance of LeBron James, which, by the way, I again would never recommend doing. I think that's a bad idea, and I think it is very unlikely that's going to work for you at all. But LeBron is a massive pack seller. Honestly, Scottie Pippen also is too, and putting both those guys at point guard, that's a 6'9", a 6'8" point guard that are going to be two of the best point guards in my team. So it is over for small guards. That I can guarantee you first and foremost, pretty much, because this is going to have a lot of tall, glitchy point guards in this drop. We're going to have a bunch of out of position 100, or we're going to have a bunch of out of position Dark Matters, which I'm sure a couple of those will be elite. We're going to have another 100 overall in addition to Scottie Pippen, and then LeBron is going to be one of the most expensive and one of the best cards in all of my team. So realistically, an absolutely loaded, crazy drop likely to be coming again this weekend. And what that will probably produce is a significant drop in the market. And I think it's worth talking about how the market is going to be affected by this. One last thing I will mention real quickly is that I do think it's good that the way that they leaked this was by accidentally posting the Triple Threat Park rewards, which, to be fair, are what they should be on Sunday, and that you are getting that glitched Invincible piece. So that'll be nice to get another Invincible event piece on Sunday from grinding that Triple Threat Park win streak. And we'll get some challenges this weekend, King of the Court as well on Saturday. I'll give a Dark Matter piece and stuff. So there'll be some available pieces to grind again this weekend as well for those of y'all who are looking to attain more cards and things of that nature. At least the non-100 overalls will all be attainable. So that is cool. But with that being said, I think it's time to talk more about how the market is going to be shifting and going to be affected by these packs. And I think it starts with your point guards. Obviously, your point guards are going to drop in price significantly. This Ben Simmons card has been 3.5 mil, 3.7 mil all week. Badged ones have been going for over 4. Would not be surprised at all if all of a sudden this card is 2.5 mil tomorrow, or even later on today. Realistically, I mean, it's 2.3 right now with almost 2.4 with 3 hours left. This card is going to drop in price 100%. You're going to see significant price drops on top tier cards. Even like a guy like Dikembe Mutombo, who's not even in out of position. Even he's 385k with 2 minutes left with a legend badge and extra offs. Like, I know it's not the most soup Dikembe ever, but these cards are clearly dropping in price immediately with the news of out of position coming, because all of a sudden, and this is how the 2K market works, when something more exciting and something more new and probably theoretically at least somewhat better drops, people forget about the older content, and all of a sudden the card like Dikembe, who everybody's been hyping up all week and who has been expensive all week, is all of a sudden relatively attainable and relatively affordable, which I, as someone who hasn't bought Dikembe yet, am fine with. To be fair, I have to make that clear, because I do believe, and I'm going to bid on this Dikembe just to hold him, because I might go back and look at that card later. That's what I generally do, is I'll bid on a card and then they'll pop. You get, maybe you have to bid twice in them sometimes, but you bid just like a low amount on a card that you're interested in, and then they'll basically save the card in your auction house for you to come back to later, and you can just leave it like if I'm not playing the game, I can come back here and I can just have it in my active bids. And even if I get outbid, it'll be in this active bid right here. So that's kind of neat. And so what I will say is this is going to be today specifically and tomorrow specifically on non out of position cards, more of a buyer's market, not a seller's market. So again, if you have top cards you were thinking of selling, I probably would wait a couple days, at least until like posting them maybe later Friday night for 12 hours so that they end before King of the Court on Saturday would be an option that I personally would consider. But I do think realistically that if you are looking for non out of position cards, especially non out of position point guards, now is definitely going to be a buyer's market. We're going to see the prices on a lot of point guards drop significantly. So a guy like Ben Simmons, who maybe a big baller out there wants to try to go get, He's going to be more attainable today than he was yesterday. Somebody like me, for example, I'm considering trying to get this Ben Simmons. Although the thing is, out of position is going to guarantee we're going to have, I mean, look, there's going to be an out of position set that is going to be something along the lines of all the other sets we've been getting this season, which means we're getting a 22 card set of all out of position cards or whatever it is. Like, it's going to be one of the bigger out of position sets that we've ever seen. And so I think what that's going to produce, I mean, let's just look at the Pantheon drop, which was 22 cards. We're going to get Invincible LeBron, 100 overall Scottie Pippen, and then 20 more out of position cards. And yes, I totally understand that some of them are not going to be very good, and some of them are going to be guards playing center, for example, and stuff like that. But we're going to get 5 out of position Pink Diamonds, 5 out of position Galaxy Opals, 5 out of position Dark Matters. Some of those cards, I guarantee you, are going to be some of the very best budget cards in my team. Big shooting guards, small forwards, big point guards. We're going to get some cards in here that are going to be really, really interesting for the guard positions, especially because realistically, we're probably not seeing a bunch of exciting power forward centers in tomorrow drop, because those are likely going to be smaller players playing bigger positions, at which point those cards are obviously not as great as people are looking for. But the top tier cards should be absolute dogs. And I would think some of the other tier cards, some of your Dark Matters, some of your Opals, some of your Pink Diamonds will be absolute budget beasts as well. In addition to likely some of the best salary cap cards in the game as well at that diamond to Pink Diamond tier. So I have pretty high hopes for this drop for sure. I definitely think it's one of the drops that has potentially be one of the deepest and best drops 2K's dropped all year. Now, out of position is one of those things that I think always people are a bit split on. And if you're not a fan of out of position, I totally understand that. But I'm not totally sure I'm with you at this point. I guess if nothing else, it does bring a little bit of excitement into the game. I understand that a lot of these cards are going to be unattainable, but everything Dark Matter and below is going to be extremely attainable. And I have pretty high hopes that out of those 19 Dark Matter and below cards, there's going to be a few really interesting ones. Card prices are down like crazy. I mean, this is 20 Legend Victor Wembanyama. That's 20. That's going 415K with an hour 14 left. I'm sure that card will go up, but like in general, card prices are definitely down. So if you're looking to add cards, now would be a great time to do that, because you're going to get great values on guys like Kareem. Is 200K with 14 minutes left. He is so cheap now. The 13 Legend badges, 132K. I know it's got 37 minutes left. That'll go for like 350K, 400K maybe, but like that's a great price. Like, I just think you can get so many good cards now, especially bigs. I would definitely look at bigs today is what I will say, because they're going to be cheaper too, but they're also not going to be affected nearly as much by tomorrow's drop. There might be one actually good power forward center that comes out in tomorrow's drop. Maybe if they do something like power forward Taco and call that out of position, that would be about the only way that I think out of position would really be glitchy, as if they do a giant at power forward or something along those lines for big men anyway, because otherwise you're going to be seeing a bunch of guards and wings as big man's positions, and those guys are small, and those guys aren't competing at this point in the year and at the big man spots. So my personal thought is definitely that today is a great day to potentially be looking at bigs as well. And overall, this content is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to see what it's looking like. We'll get leaks later today here in just a couple of hours, and they will basically tell us everything we need to know about what's coming out, and what's going on. And I'm excited to see what this drop's looking like, man. Out of position has been leaked, and it is going to be pretty fire. So that is going to do it for the video. I hope you all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate you all. Peace.